It could be the last time that First Division football's played at New Craven Park for a while. If results go against them today, Hulkingston Rovers are doomed to relegation. But Wigan continue their pursuit of a 5th championship in a row. The match referee here at New Craven Park is Jim Smith of Halifax, just turned 50. He will retire at the end of this season. It's Hulkingston Rovers playing perhaps their last match in the First Division for a while against the champions Wigan. And this is the Rovers side. Fletcher, Barkworth, Hutchinson, Charlesworth, Coult and Crane, Parker the captain. Up front it's Wayne Jackson, Chamberlain, Glancy, Richardson, Paul Fletcher and Halafihi. And the substitutes, 2 youngsters, Craig Hardy who's 20 and Chris Charles who's 18. It's Wigan who are in possession with Phil Clark. The dummy half is Martin Hall. That was Sean Edwards, and this is Paul Aitchison. The centre of the field here at Craven Park, quite heavy, quite boggy, after all the rain of the, well, it seems like the past 12 months, and it hasn't really recovered, and there is a mistake from Sean Edwards. Knock on.
Just lost control of it there, took the eyes of it. Not happy either. Bad mistake very early in the game.
So it's Rovers who are in possession. Let's check their side for you. This is the Wigan side, rather. Paul Aitchison, Jason Robinson and Sam Panaper. Connolly of Fire and Wright with Edwards the captain. And it's Cowie, Hall, Platt, Cassidy, Farrell and Clark. And on the bench, it really does illustrate the strength in depth of Wigan. Lydon and Betts. And between them, they have 52 caps for their country. Chamberlain was the dummy half. This is Wayne Jackson, the prop forward for Rovers. It's the last tackle now for Hulkingston Rovers. Parker, named today as the Rovers player of the season. Good kick downfield and safe hands underneath it. Aitchison, the Wigan fullback.
A little bit too long there from Wayne Parker, the Hull KR skipper. No pressure applied to the fullback Paul Aitchison. Not much wind. Bit of a swirling wind, perhaps, but non-advantage to either side, really.
Sam Panaper operating in the centre today for Wigan, missing 1 or 2 star names, but still with a team that many coaches, and in particular George FAIRBAIRN here at Hulkingston Rovers, would envy. Martin Hall, the dummy half. He finds Andy Platt. Good tackling here by Hulkingston Rovers, restricting Wigan to their own half of the field. Edwards will drop the ball over the top, and Mike Fletcher, the fullback, will collect it. Rovers quite simply must win if they are to hang on to their place in the big league for next season. Wigan, of course, after Bradford on Friday night picking up 2 points, need to win desperately also. Matches remaining for these 2 sides. It's quite difficult, obviously, for Rovers, and the same must be said for Wigan.
So much talent in this Wigan side, as you mentioned, Eddie. Lydon and Betts on the substitute bench have to start red-hot favourites. But many funny thing has happened in rugby league, and I reckon that the Rovers will look towards this as their big chance for glory.
That ball hit a Wigan arm, touched in flight, and that was another Wigan arm. It was Phil Clark who made the knock-on.
Richard Chamberlain picked up the loose ball there. Good play from the hooker. Bit of nerves from Robinson. A lot of pressure also on this Wigan side. They realise that those 2 points up for grabs today, vital for their chance for the championship.
Parker feeds, and this is Mick Coult. Debut in the Challenge Cup in February as a substitute, made his full debut on the wing in the number 5 jersey on Monday. Parker almost through. It was a good tackle by Nigel Wright. No Fran O'Botiger, of course, today for Wigan. Now the second rower, Paul Fletcher, taking Rovers into the Wigan danger zone. This is a spirited start, I must say, by relegation-threatened Rovers against the illustrious visitors. This is Mike Crane, dumped to the floor by Martin Hall's challenge. Parker will just drop one over the top. And Robinson in a bit of trouble to collect it, eventually did so.
Well, it took a nasty bounce, didn't it, Jason Robinson? What a great kick from Wayne Parker. Little chip into space. And Aitchison and Robinson called for it, but it did take a nasty bounce at the last moment.
Wayne Jackson runs it straight back into the danger zone. Of course, Wigan won't need reminding, on their last visit to Humberside, Hull beat them. Really did throw the championship race wide open. Rovers promised Wigan they would be in for a hard battle here today, and certainly the opening moments of this match indicating exactly that. It's Rovers who are in possession with John Glancy back in the side. Now it's with Parker. Here's Mike Crane. Parker taking over again.
Parker was looking for the inside run there. The run around was on, but the runner had gone far too early.
Crane again drifts one over the top once more. Robinson again under pressure. He just has to tap it, touch in goal. Wigan under pressure.
Busy boy Robinson, isn't he? This time it was Crane, a little chip over the top. He took no gambles. Did the right thing, did the youngster Robinson.
Robinson also back after missing the Halifax match on Thursday night for Wigan, which they won by 38 points to 0, to reclaim their position at the top of the table. Andy Farrell with the drop out from under the posts. Decent length on it. Mike Coult gets hold of it and will run it straight back at Wigan. Chamberlain is the dummy half. The runner there is the second rower, Richardson. Cowie and Robinson sticking to the task well. Chamberlain again. Here's Parker. Really does make Rovers tick. Now Charlesworth. Good tackle by Phil Clark. Referee Jim Smith making Wigan stand a good 10 metres back. Here's Halahifi.
Great defence, though, from Wigan. You could see they just squeezed the Hull KR down into the middle. Really coming up quickly out wide. And even though Hull KR have had most of the possession, this Wigan defence channeling them right down.
Diagonal kick from Parker. Robinson under pressure again. 3 of them there. That was high from Charlesworth. Play on, says the referee.
Well, the kicking game coming into a good play by the Rovers. They obviously realise and perhaps think that Robinson, a little bit of a weakness there. They really have put him under pressure early in this game.
Farrell is surrounded by 3. There's Robinson, welcome to New Craven Park. Andy Platt with the forward. Jim Smith has none of it. He's doing his best, the referee, to keep this game open. He really is making the defending side go back a very, very good 10 metres. This is the last tackle. Edwards drifts one over the top. Coult is underneath it. Collects it cleanly. 3 to get through. One of them, Panafer. He's through him, so he didn't get through Jason Robinson.
Nice run from the youngster. Mick Coult took that ball well. Wasn't the best kick forward.
And that's a good run from Mike Fletcher under all that pressure. Got Rovers up to the halfway line. Chamberlain gets it away to Jackson. Jackson, good ball, and Halafifi was almost through, but he just lost possession. But it was inventive play from the Robins.
Nice little pass inside from Jackson. Now, was that ball knocked down by Cowie? Referee Jim Smith saying that it was a knock on, but I suspect perhaps a loose arm was in there. There you see quite clearly that Cowie knocked the ball away from the loose forward, Halafihi.
Edwards feeds, gets possession and sets off and puts Nigel Wright through the gap. This is a race between Wright and Coult. Wright's got the legs, and Wright, after all that pressure, gets the try for Wigan. Only his 4th try of the season. In this, his first game in 7 for the champions. Nigel Wright was put into the gap brilliantly by Edwards, and the rest is history.
Beautiful play from Edwards. There was some doubt about whether he would play today, but the run across at the angle, they were too slow to get to Edwards. The gap appeared, and this fella has the speed. He did the right thing, wave it out towards the wing. Coult couldn't get anywhere near him. But watch how you see Edwards run and split across. He pulls the loose forward, Halafihi, and I'm afraid that Mike Crane was left in no man's land. The gap appeared, and the speed of this man. Been an up-and-down season for Nigel Wright at Wigan, but he'll be happy with that.
Nigel Wright, tremendous try for Wigan. After all that pressure from Rovers, they have snapped back and they've got the lead. And no Frano Botica today, so Martin Hall will take the goal-kicking responsibilities, and he's never, ever kicked a goal before for Wigan. It's a difficult chance, this, and the swirling wind means that the ball falls over. So an indication of this strong wind. Edwards there just holding the top of the ball while Hall takes aim and just misses. So he has still to kick his first goal for the club, but Wigan are ahead 4-0. Four handling errors to one. Wigan forcing the pace, but producing the errors. Chamberlain, the dummy half. Jackson shows it to Halafifi and then gives it to the second rower, Richardson. And a good job that Wright was there. Parker to Crane.
Good play, though, by the second rower, Steve Richardson, but he was looking for support. I'm afraid it was not there.
It's the last tackle, and again Rovers are stuck in their own half, and that strong wind that Steve-O mentioned earlier caught that and made it difficult for Aitchison. As Glancy came in to try and pick up the loose ball, Aitchison just got to it first. Out the side door by Cowie. Aitchison was there in support again. Charlesworth to cut him down. Is that another little knock on? Jim Smith glances at the touch judge and says play on.
No, it was just an awkward play of the ball. He didn't drop it. He'd placed it onto the ground.
Robinson. Good tackling Glancy. And also Mick Coult. Clark gets the ball away to Platt. Platt with Fletcher there. And Wayne Jackson is brought down. They've only made 20 metres progress, Wigan. They might make more now with Panapa. He has Robinson there, but the kick forward was straight into the arms of Coult. And here's the first break from Rovers. Ankle tap by the hooker Hall and finished off by Cassidy.
Great run from the winger Coult. Showed a lot of ability there, used his body, the shoulder, just pushed off two would-be tacklers. Well, will that lift the spirit to the Rovers? Let's hope so.
Chamberlain just spinning, looking for support. There was only Mike Fletcher there. Rovers now on the halfway line. John Glancy in back play receiving treatment as this attack continues with Halafihi. Chamberlain to Jackson. Last tackle again for Rovers. They're only just inside the Wigan half. That has been the story of this opening quarter of this match. Jackson's kick downfield again catches the wind, and Aitchison has all the time in the world to pick it up.
Well, this is a run from the winger Coult. You'll see how the strength. Look how he uses his shoulders and the handoff there. That was really great play. Super stuff.
So it's encouraging for Hull Kingston Rovers, trailing 4 points to 0, but matching it with Wigan at the moment. Good tackle there from Jackson on the tall figure of Farrell. Edwards to Nigel Wright. Panapa. Here's Edwards again, and Nigel Wright. And that's the fifth tackle for Wigan. The match at the moment being played in a 40-metre area either side of halfway line. Ball knocked through by Wright, picked up by Jackson. The fire is there and sticks to the tan.
Good play by Parker there. He read it well, was in the sweeping position. Super take. And really, Nigel Wright would have been better off playing the ball because Edwards was screaming for it. A better kick was needed there.
That was better territory made by Chamberlain, and Wigan not letting him get to his feet quickly. There's a mistake from Mike Crane. Now, I thought the ball there was propelled backwards, but the knock-on given.
Well, it did go backwards in my book also, Eddie. Lady Luck deserting the Rovers side. You heard the crowd there. They thought that perhaps the Wigan players were holding down.
Edwards now, he fed Wright for the try, but there he gave it to Connolly, and that I think is Connolly's first touch, and he dropped it.
You see quite clearly he was looking at Mike Crane before receiving that football. Good work by Crane. He moved up quickly, anticipated the fact that Edwards was trying to emulate the run that created the first try.
Almost 26 minutes gone, and I reckon that was Connolly's first touch of the football, Stephen.
Yes. It's been a defensive effort from Wigan so far. Only had one chance, but of course they've taken it.
That's good play. They keep the ball alive well. Chamberlain is met, though, by Cowie. And that was the loose forward, Halafihi, who kept it going. Here's Jackson. That's good play, too. Fletcher's through. He's got the ball out wide to Barkworth. Barkworth inside. And can he get it down? We're going to try to wrestle him out of it. And we're going to hold him up over the line. It was Mike Fletcher, the fullback. And Rovers so close.
Oh, super play. But they did well. You can see Edwards and Connolly there. Aitchison in. And Edwards got underneath it. But look at the break there. It was beautiful play from Fletcher. Got it out to Barkworth, who somehow got it away on the inside. Just couldn't get it down, but full credit to Sean Edwards. Got his shoulder underneath it.
And of course, because it was Rovers who were held up over the line, they get the scrum, and what's more, they now have a penalty. They were trying to make a quick play the ball there, and Nigel Wright just hauled the man down.
Well, he just did that to give away the penalty, and as far as I'm concerned, Nigel Wright should have been gone for 10 minutes. Professional foul right in front of the sticks, stopping any opportunity of Hull KR making a quick play of the ball and perhaps going in for a try. Come on, ref.
Nigel Wright, under 21 international, £150,000 signing from Wakefield Trinity. And in somebody's book, alongside me, a lucky man. Mike Fletcher then, 82 goals this season. That's now 83, and Rovers trail only by 2 points, 4-2 to the champions.
Well, you can see on the replay there, deliberate pulling out of the football, and again. Now, if that is not a professional foul right in front, and that's a bad mistake from Wigan. Out on the full, it'll be a penalty on the halfway line, and the pressure is perhaps getting to a few of these Wigan players.
That gale force wind at the backs of Wigan, and it certainly carried the ball. Look at it fly.
Well, the Rovers will be quite happy with this scoreline if it stays that way to the half-time break. As you could see there by the strength of that kick, that the wind will be to the Rovers' advantage in the second stanza.
That ball hardly made any ground at all by Mike Fletcher. It caught in the breeze. This shows you how strong the wind is here at New Craven Park, but then again it always is. But Hull Kingston Rovers are playing with a lot of spirit and a lot of endeavour. There's no doubt about that.
Well, they've used the kicking game well to get through, but perhaps, and that's got to be another. Well, now it's the second occasion.
Nigel Wright again.
He hasn't even had a word with him. You can see there Phil Clark and then Wright over the top. You have to roll away, not back over the top of him. Well, lucky boy on thin ice as far as I'm concerned.
And needless to say, because of that penalty, Rovers, in the shape of Mike Fletcher, going to have a kick at goal here. Now, remember when our cameras were last trained on Hull KR against Lee, Mike Fletcher kicked 10 goals from 10 attempts 2 weeks ago into the breeze. And that would not go dead, so Wigan are allowed to run the ball out. And
that would not please their coach, George Fairbairn. Gave away good opportunity there for possession and position, and that's got to be a penalty. Barkworth involved. Hutchison, sorry.
Yes, Robinson was interfered with as he tried to get to his feet to play that ball. Wigan with the penalty, so pressure relieves on them.
A little bit niggly. Players wanting to get involved in the tackle and just knock the arm down. Niggly stuff.
Cowie, that's a better run from him. Hall, the dummy half. Platt was the runner. Good tackling by Rovers to keep the Great Britain international out. Here's Martin Hall. Clark called for that. Clark stepping through. Good run from Phil Clark. Wigan delighted to see him back in the side this crucial stage of the season. Here's Nigel Wright. Drops it under pressure from Halafihi, and Nigel Wright now claims that he was being penalised.
I think he's right. It was an arm that got him there. Well, it's a rule that creates a lot of confusion, both for the players, the fans and the referees alike.
Now Mike Crane. Stopped 10 metres from his own line. Aitchison and Wright. Barkworth gets the ball away. Back to Parker. Rovers always look to their scrum half and captain, Wayne Parker. Like John Dorahy, Wayne Parker, the number 7 for Rovers, is a survivor from those glory days of the mid-80s. That's good play. Here's Coult. He has some strength, doesn't he, this winger? Robinson stuck to the task well, though. Chamberlain to Parker again. Now Wayne Jackson. Halafihi. Grounded by Connolly.
Well spotted by Gary Connolly there. Ball and all tackle on the loose forward, Halafihi.
That ball will sail out on the fall. The wind is a great problem here. Such an open ground. Whistles in off the North Sea.
Wouldn't be happy with that, fullback Mike Fletcher. It's defence time now. Let's see what Wigan can do. It's been scrappy from Wigan so far. Stop and start, make quite a few unforced errors.
That's Andy Farrell with the drive to the 10-metre line. Hall to Andy Platt, who drops it. Well, Wigan, I don't know what's happened to them, but they're out of sorts.
Well, I'm not so sure that he dropped it. I think Platt was trying to put the little kick through. But either way, the option wasn't the best. No, you're right, Eddie. He did lose it, didn't he? Unforced as well.
And handling errors 7-2. That is not the total for champions-elect.
And they must realise that this strong wind is going to be against them. There'll be a lot of hard talking, I'm sure, from their coach, John Dorahy.
Last tackle here for Rovers. Fletcher this time drives the ball along the ground. Robinson collects it. Charles was there, Chamberlain's there, Halafihi's there. And the Wigan coach cannot be happy with what he's seen in this first half. Cassidy up to the halfway line. We've had 34 minutes. Hall. Clark is there.
Better defence from the Rovers. Moving up a lot quicker now.
Edwards to Wright, and he was lucky to get that at the second attempt. Rovers are tackling for all their worth. I mean, we're saying, I suppose, that Wigan are looking a bit out of sorts, but this is a really good defensive effort here from Rovers. Now Martin afire, but he is collared by Barkworth, and that was on the last tackle. So Rovers get the ball back immediately on the turnover.
Well, a real mix-up in the Wigan camp there. Sean Edwards is shouting that it came off a Hull KR player, and he was saying it's back to 1, back to 6, should I say. But it wasn't. He's not the referee, and some of his players just stood back on that one.
Perhaps it did get a little touch on the way out to a fire, who knows? But the referee is the man who decides. I think Chamberlain may have got a hand to it.
Oh, he did, no doubt about it. But what the point I'm saying is that it was Edwards that was trying to be referee. Martin O'Fire listened to Edwards instead of listening to the referee.
Here's John Glancy. The last tackle again for Rovers. Up against this gale force wind, they are struggling to get out of their own half. Parker's kick downfield again is fielded by Aitchison, and Aitchison is clattered to the ground by the Rovers scrum half. Edwards to Robinson, and Craig Hardy has come on, and Paul Fletcher is the man who has gone off for Rovers. Cowie meanwhile with this run downfield. Chamberlain halts him, and so does the substitute Hardy.
It's vital now that Hull KR really get their act together in defence. It'll be a real boost for them to go into the half-time break. There's 2 points down with a wind at the back of them in the second half.
Less than 4 minutes to go in this first half. And Wigan running down blind alleys at the moment. The blind alleys built by this Rovers defence. They really are sticking to their guns. Hall hoists the kick, Coults underneath it, diffuses it behind his own line. Tap from their own 20-metre mark. Rovers should not be in much hurry to get this back underway.
That was a poor kick there from the hooker, Martin Hall. Of course, Wigan did not have their regular kicker. Sean Edwards was actually playing the ball. Well taken by Mick Coult. He's certainly played very well so far.
Chris Charles is the man who comes on, and it's Wayne Jackson, the prop forward, who goes off. The ball comes free. The referee says play on. Connolly swoops on it, picks up pace, takes Wigan back to within 5 metres of the Hull Kingston Rovers line.
Oh, that's a bad mistake from Rovers, and they could pay for it.
Edwards spins the ball to Farrell. Hall to Clark. Hall again. Edwards misses out Platt, misses out Cassidy, finds Connolly. Oh, that had to be a good tackle, and it was from Chamberlain. Panaper on his own, ball back to Edwards. Here's Cowie. Cowie to nobody. Edwards picks it up on the bounce. Has to run across the field, finds Wright. That's great defence from Rovers again. Last tackle here for Wigan. Edwards to Clark. Clark with all the power. And he was held up on the line again.
Super tackle from Mike Crane. And he lost it just at the last minute. Clark trying to reach out to touch the whitewash. Well, it's the second time that Wigan have been denied by centimetres. Oh, and that is another bad mistake. Not what the doctor ordered there, but a good tackle. Driving force there from Martin Hall.
Parker dropped it under all that pressure. So Wigan with the chance here to stamp their authority on this first half up to the half-time break. But they have certainly struggled in the opening 40 minutes here against some fierce tackling and fierce defence from Rovers. Can they hold on again now? Here's Panaper. Aitchison's gone into dummy half. It's now with Edwards. Back to Cassidy. Good tackling again. Mike Crane. 1 minute to go in this first half. Wigan looking for the four-pointer that would ease their position at half-time. That's the scoreline. Who would have put money on that as we approach half-time? Panaper through the gap from Edwards. Another good tackle, this time from Craig Hardy. Wright tries to step through and tries to go all the way on his own. That's the last tackle. Rovers have held on for 5. Wright is injured. Jim Smith stops the clock. Now calls time back on. It's with Edwards to Platt, and he is enveloped, but he gets the ball away to Connolly through his legs. Connolly dabs it forward, and so close again, Wigan, Panafer and Wayne Parker, but I think Parker's got the vote here.
Well, it's amazing this. They both looked at each other, came up Parker. Second time, that should have been really a dropout from under the stick. Wayne Parker was the last to touch it.
Looked like a full-back and a midfielder in the round ball game, didn't it, that?
Well, they both hesitated. Could have been crucial there. Well, good defence from the Rovers. They really weren't on the rack there. 3 bad mistakes allowed Wigan 3 sets of 6 to go at them, and they still kept them out.
Nigel Wright is still down and receiving treatment after this incident. Right on the line.
Twisting of the leg, the knee perhaps.
Oh, and he's in a bit of discomfort, isn't he, Nigel Wright? Not had the best of first halves, and it's ending in the worst possible way for him. Meanwhile, Rovers in possession with Chris Charles, their substitute. There's the man they look to all the time, Parker. His kick downfield, trapped by Robinson. Robinson through one, and he goes inside, and he has Edwards with him. Oh, and Mike Crane came in and finished him off, measured him up, and flattened him.
Good scrambling defence from Mike Crane, but a good run from the winger Jason Robinson.
O'Fire gets the ball away to Cowie. Charlesworth is there. O'Fire takes the return pass. He finds Clark. Now it's with Farrell. And there's the half-time siren. And a great first half for Hulkingston Rovers. Their supporters, I'm sure, breathe a sigh of relief. Wayne Parker, their captain, has marshalled his troops very well indeed. Just the one try, that was Nigel Wright's. The one goal, though, from Mike Fletcher gives us a 4-2 half-time situation. The championship is up for grabs for Wigan, but a spirited first half from Hulkingston Rovers. And now Wigan playing into the teeth of a gale, and Rovers with just the 2 points deficit, with that strong wind at their backs, and this will be a very interesting 40 minutes to come. There's the first decision of the second half for Jim Smith to decide about, but while the players were off for half-time, the sad news is that Nigel Wright has gone to hospital with a suspected broken leg after that challenge. It really will be the end of his season and the end of a most miserable first season at Central Park for Nigel Wright.
A real shame for the youngster. Scorer of the first try, ran exceptionally well, looked as though he was getting back into the swing of things. A sad blow for him and Wigan, of course.
Phil Clark trying to up the tempo for Wigan, leading 4 points to 2, in possession now with Andy Platt. And obviously Wigan are after scoring early in this second half to settle those nerves. And Edwards so close, almost through. It's the last tackle, the big ask required of this Hulkingston Rovers defence. Coult is there, and Coult just tidies up, but they're then trapped in goal, and it will be a dropout from underneath their own posts.
Good thinking there, nice little kick from Martin Hall, but well played by Mick Coult. Equal to the task, realising that perhaps the kick would be coming on the last tackle. No doubt about in my mind that the Wigan coach John Dorrie would have had plenty to say to his chargers. Lift the tempo. Realise it's going to be hard against this wind. That's not a great dropout.
Well, it bounced away from Edwards and Farrell up to the halfway line. O'Fire has to come in off the wind to pick it up, and then he is tackled by Chris Charles. There is the Wigan coach. Knows that the title is on the line today. Radford Northern's victory on Friday has increased the pressure, and Martin Hall has dropped the ball, and here come the Rovers again. They are out of sorts, the champions. Mike Crane, the man tackled. Hutchinson was the dummy half. Barkworth is the runner.
Well, the key for Rovers, in my opinion, is to get the ball a little bit out wide. They found it really difficult to get through this strong Wigan defence in the first half. And perhaps miss the man out, the long ball. That could be the key.
Craig Hardy going nowhere and tackling like that from Lydon and Cassidy. Wigan have won the last 5 here in the big league. That's a high pick though, one for Aitchison, and he drops it, and he puts Robinson under pressure. He's pursued by Chatfield, and Robinson has to hack the ball dead. Well, the Rovers must know, Steve-O, that this match is available.
Just completely lost it to the fullback, Paul Aitchison, and Robinson had to go right in and out of the post there, and Chamberlain was so close.
Aitchison struggled with that ball as it hung in the wind.
Lost the ball. Referee Jim Smith says, could we have another one, please?
Just shows you how strong the wind is then, doesn't it? Sailed out of the ground. Now we've got both of them back. Lydon will drop it out from under the sticks, remember, against the gale, so he keeps it low. Parker collects, and here is Charles.
Cowie copped a headbutt there, accidental, but he really did crash into it, and he's down, he's in a lot of pain.
It's a great run that though from Fletcher, the fullback. Cowie is flat out, so Wigan's tale of woe continues. Crane trying to get in, but it's Edwards and Aitchison who haul him back.
Oh, now then, I think that perhaps might have been a stray finger. Could have gone into the eye. That
painful,
is
anyway.
Extremely painful.
Alafihi can't get through, but gets the ball away, slips it well. Now it's with Hutchinson, who dropped it, but Barkwood's after it, and Barkwood touches down, and the try's given. I wonder whether that should have been a knock-on, but Rovers are not complaining, though Wigan most certainly are.
Interesting to see whether Rob Hutchinson did kick this. Good play by Alafihi. He looked for all the world to be taken in then, but he slipped the ball away, or was it taken? He was actually taken away by Chamberlain. And then Crane ran up the angle. Yes, he definitely went for the kick. And good play by Julian Barkwood. They really caught the defence napping. It was not a knock-on. Rob Hutchinson definitely played for that. That was super play.
So Barkwood's 8th try of the season, and he has given Hulkingston Rovers an incredible lead here. And that's an extra 2 from the boot of Mike Fletcher. The fat is in the fire now. 8-4 Rovers.
You can see that the defence have come through. It was a beautiful kick there. Gary Connolly, no chance to get through to it. Well played by Hutchison, but even better by the winger Julian Barkwood. And the shock, perhaps, is on its way.
Barkwood, tremendous tries, missed just 1 game all season. Former Hull Ionians rugby union player. And my word, he has made a big name for himself in the big league here. 8-4, Rovers ahead. The shock is now on the cards.
Well, what a way to lift a side. All they have to do now is just play basic football, keep control, possession is vital, and then of course use this strong wind way down into the corner. Already we've seen the fullback Paul Aitchison make a meal of one big kick.
And he wasn't going to take a chance with that one, but I think there's too much wind and too much strength behind the kick from Wayne Parker, and it runs dead. Well, Steve-O, not long ago, the Wigan players were complaining that perhaps that had been a knock-on by Hutchinson. It was clear as daylight on our cameras that it was a planned move, and Wigan out of sorts.
Without a doubt. It was a superb bit of play from the centre, Hutchinson. And they know that in a battle now, Wigan.
Dennis Betts has come on. There he is, number 15 for Wigan. And it's Neil Cowie who's off. Here's Phil Clark, trying to inject some pace. Good tackling again from Rovers. They really have stuck to their guns well, haven't they? Edwards meets Wayne Jackson head on.
Crunch tackle from the big prop forward Jackson. But Edwards is a man that can pull them out of it. He's done so many times in the past. Nice kick by Sam Panapa.
And it touched a Rovers player, and so it will be Wigan's head and feed.
Just what the doctor ordered as far as Wigan's concerned. But that man feeding the scrum and passing now is certainly the key.
There's the scoreline. Early moments of this second half, and Rovers have snatched the advantage. But here come Wigan on the charge. Aitchison is the dummy half. Edwards gives it to Robinson. Just handed it on to him. Robinson gets away from Coult. But can't get away from those two. The two substitutes bring him down, Hardy and Charles. Edwards to Betts.
You can see there, though,
tackle from Jackson.
It sure was, but you can see how this Wigan side are very flat. They're really not running onto it. They should be standing a little bit deeper.
Last tackle for Wigan. It's with Edwards. Edwards just delaying the pass, gets it out eventually to Robinson, and again that comes bouncing back off a Rovers player. It's another scrum.
Well played by Robinson. Came off the legs of Mick Coult, the winger. More pressure for the Rovers.
Coult made a play for it with the boot, put it out. So another 6 tackles here on the cards for Wigan. Panapa to Aitchison. Aitchison saying to the referee he's trying to get to his feet, was impeded. Referee unimpressed. Clark with that run. Good tackle on him by Charlesworth and Chris Charles. Hall, the dummy half. Wigan now have got a little bit of urgency about them. Edwards, good tackling. The 2 prop forwards closed him down then, Jackson and Glancy. Connolly at dummy half. Panapa, here's Betts. Great defence this from Rovers, it really is. That's how close Wigan are.
Tremendous work from the front row, Jackson, Chamberlain and Glancy.
Ball now with Robinson. He's almost through, but he was just hauled back by Glancy again. And he felt that, did Robinson. Last tackle. Hall. Panapa. Edwards. Long pass to Aitchison. Now to a fire. And a fire can go nowhere. Barkwood tackles it. Aitchison, Barkwood tackles in. Fire loses it, and Rovers pick it up.
Knew there was no way to go there. He had to come back inside. An excellent defence once again from the Rovers. They'll just play out the 5 now and elect for the big kick again.
Here's Wayne Jackson once more. Super defence, though, that from Rovers. Kept Wigan out. 12 tackles on the run.
Been a tremendous performance from the front row. This Rovers front row worked so hard.
Parker again drifts the ball over the top. Edwards is back there, and that ball again will run touch and goal.
That's going to be the story of the afternoon. They don't mind. Big kick downfield, even though that Wigan will play this on the quarter line. The way that this Rovers defence is playing, they're quite happy to just keep them there. Very difficult for Wigan with their kicking game to actually force their way into the Rovers' half.
Well, who would have predicted this scoreline? Perhaps that man, George Fairbairn. 8-4. Hulkingston Rovers ahead. Champions struggling. Bradford Northern away twice next week. What a championship race this is this season. Platt. 8-4. Hulkingston Rovers try early in this second half has really produced the shock result of the season so far. But can Rovers hang on to it?
Good work from the Wigan forwards, though. You can see they've got into the halfway.
Lydon's kick over the top's too long. Oh, but Wayne Parker, he got it in the second attempt as Lydon closed in on him.
Nervous times then from the sweeper. Didn't take it cleanly the first attempt.
Glancy now. As Wigan not only struggling on the field, off it they're struggling too with the news that Nigel Wright has got that suspected broken leg. Not the happiest of areas, Humberside, for them this season. Remember Hull beat them a couple of weeks ago. Another high kick from Parker. Aitchison watching it this time. Took it cleanly. Then caught one from the fullback, Mike Fletcher.
Well, not the best direction kick there. He wouldn't have been happy with that, Wayne Parker. No point in putting it straight down his throat, especially with his strong wind. Should have gone out towards the wing or well away from the fullback.
Aitchison is now injured. Hall with the run, loses it though. Cools has it back. The Rovers gets away from Cassidy. Lyne was the man shuttling across to bring him down. They have the sniff of the shock of the season here at New Craven Park as Parker takes them on again. Never mind second division. Just stand back and admire this gutsy performance from Hull Kingston Rovers.
Good run from Craig Hardy, the substitute.
Chamberlain is there looking again to pinch that ball before Parker took the tackle. They're bang in front of the sticks. I wonder if they'll stretch for a drop goal. They fancy four, and is it going to come up with an Izzy? Chamberlain did! Oh, what a surprise on the cards here! Chamberlain took the gamble. Dennis Betts argues with Jim Smith, the referee, who wiped his protest away.
What great play from the hooker, Richard Chamberlain. He got the lucky bounce and then dragged away. He was not tackled. It was play on. Referee Jim Smith in an excellent position. From the play of the ball, you can see it there. The second marker was non-existent for Wigan. It bounces off Connolly's head, and the hooker sweeps over for a vital try.
12-4, Rovers lead. Fletcher clips it over the top of the bar. It's 14-4, and Wigan in desperate trouble. Here's Wayne Jackson. 14-4, Hull Kingston Rovers, and a high tackle on Wayne Jackson. Rovers have a penalty.
Dennis Betts coming in there, and it was a swinging right arm, the forearm right across the mouth of Wayne Jackson. Lack of composure. Oh, we mentioned that Wigan is one of the great sides that do have composure. They've got the skills to get out of a lot of problems.
They elected then, while Wigan was standing back waiting for the long penalty, to tap it, and Mike Fletcher heard upfield. Good play. Chamberlain, well, he was able to get up off the floor then, having slipped, and make a few more meters. Penalty count, 5-2, Hull Kingston Rovers' favour.
That's been another problem for this Wigan outfit this half, is the fact that their second markers have not been working hard enough. On quite a few occasions, both the first and second marker have gone the same way.
Drop goal attempt here from Crane, and he's kicked it! That stretches the advantage even further.
Excellent thinking. The standoff, Mike Crane, realising that that 1 point could be so important.
Big smile on the face of Mike Crane. 15-4 now, Hull Kingston Rovers. John Doherty, former favourite here at Craven Park with Hull Kingston Rovers in the 80s at the old Craven Park, and he knows that his Wigan team are looking down the barrels here of a defeat that could have serious repercussions for their championship ambitions.
Oh, that was a bad play by Hull KR there. Richard Chamberlain getting in the way of Mike Fletcher. Fletcher that called for it, and the hooker got in his way.
Andy Platt, remember, he was the man who scored the try at Knowsley Road against St Helens on Good Friday that kick-started Wigan's great run over Easter.
Well, there's got to be some individual brilliance, and I think Sean Edwards, he's the man who's got to start running at the defence now. take them on a little bit more.
Clark to Betts to Connolly. They can't bring Connolly down. Now they do. Charles and Hutchinson. Quick play the ball required here by Wigan. Panaper to Edwards. Edwards holds the ball up for Farrell, and that was a great tackle again on the last. And hasn't he done well, Wayne Jackson?
Super tackle again from the prop forward. Edwards trying to just hold the ball up at the last moment. At least he had a runner on that occasion. Well, we keep saying it, but this Rovers side, all they have to do, safety first, not do anything stupid. Play it out on the last, or maybe the fourth tackle, the big boot right into the corner.
Craig Hardy picks himself up. Chamberlain back to the scrum half. Parker. High kick downfield. Robinson plays for it. Picks it up. Good chase. Steve Richardson. Here's Clark. Still going Clark. That's the sort of running that Wigan need. O'Fire on his own from dummy half. Straight down a blind alley. Gets the ball away, but only into the arms of Barkwood. Barkwood's down the line. Connolly's after him. This time Connolly won't get in. A try for Barkwood. His second of the match. And Julian Barkwood has scored perhaps the most important try of his career. Oh, what a game here.
Well, it took a while, but they've only just awarded the try. Now, was the ball stolen from Martin O'Fire? I suspect it was, but the referee in the touch check said nothing of it. And surprisingly, Gary Connolly could not bring in Julian Barkwood. Now, I'm sure the ball was stolen. It certainly was in my book. They're looking to get away with it, but Julian Barkwood and Gary Connolly could make no ground against him. A valiant attempt there, just flips the ankle, but the winger Julian Barkwood has set Craven Park alight.
Mike Fletcher then, with this conversion attempt, it's 19-4 to Rovers. It's 21-4 to Rovers. The ball was stolen in the tackle. Barkwood wasn't hanging around to debate the point, and now Rovers have a stranglehold on this match.
And the most important factor is that once the ball had been taken from O'Fire, all he did was just complain. He had every right to complain. There he was being held back, and there was no chance. Not even that man could have got back to stop Julian Barkwood. What a turn-up for the books.
26 minutes gone. 21 points to 4. This is one of the shocks of the season. It's one of the shocks of the past 5 or 6 seasons. Who would have thought it? That Rovers, standing on the creaking trapdoor of the Division 2, would do this to the champions. 21-4. Extraordinary. Glancy on the charge. This is Rovers' day, I fancy.
He did the right thing there, did the prop forward Glancy. He didn't panic. He could have tried to get the ball away, but the kick downfield and the way that they're defending, that's the right option. But don't write this Wigan side off yet. Remember, Hull were in this same position in the Challenge Cup. And Wigan bounced back, but have they got the time?
Farrell with this run, stopped by Glancy. George Fairbairn, a former great Wigan fullback in his time. Now the Hulkingston Rovers coach. And he is on the threshold of perhaps the most extraordinary result of his coaching career. Robinson hacks the ball downfield. Mike Fletcher's there. Steps away from Connolly. Still going Fletcher. Well, if this doesn't get them rolling back into New Craven Park, nothing will. Quite tragically for Rovers, though, it's their last game of this season at home. 2 to go. They don't want to go into Division 2, Rovers, and playing like this, Steve-O, they shouldn't.
If only they could have just done this all through the season. You can see the players' confidence, it's so high. Sidestepping, running at the angles. The breaks are coming. This Wigan defence, which was so strong in that first half. Remember, Rovers didn't make a clean break in that first half, and yet they are running riot now.
1 or 2 controversial decisions perhaps by the referee, but take nothing away from Rovers. That's a great kick downfield, and Lydon gets it, but only just.
The experience showing there on Lydon, defusing the bomb within the in-goal area. Wigan say, let's get on with it.
They have 10 minutes to go, and no wonder. But Panaper, look at the way they're tackling. They simply haven't got any space ahead of them, Wigan. And the way that they're all plodding round the ball, to play the ball, Wigan, I don't know, they look as though the wheels have fallen off their championship challenge.
Well, they've done all that this second half, haven't they? They haven't stood deep. Been very few people supporting and running. But let's take nothing away from this Hull KR defence, especially Jackson, Chamberlain, Glancy. They really have worked overtime. Every one of them have.
Now then, can Dennis Betts find the gap? This is a great run from Betts. It's a wonderful run from Betts. It's over the top to Lydon, who is clattered by Hutchinson.
Great run from Betts, but he should have let it go first. Edwards was there earlier.
He's there now, and this is Hall. Hall dabs it towards the corner and gets the ball back. Does he know? The touch judge has the flag up.
Did it go in?
Must have hit the line.
Did it go in? Yes, it did. It hit the line.
Well, the day started pretty brightly for Wayne Parker when he was named the Rovers Player of the Season. And the day is finishing pretty brightly for him and all the Hull Kingston Rovers supporters too. They've beaten St Helens, Bradford and Hull here this season, and Leigh, and now they're perhaps going to take the biggest scalp of them all.
Well, it hasn't been a happy hunting ground, has it, Wigan? Coming onto the Humber side. They probably won't eat fish for a long time.
Not long to go, 9 minutes left. That's all for Wigan to rescue this match. Glancy. Charlesworth couldn't hang on to it. Panaper gets away from Glancy. Can't run through Wayne Parker. Robinson, quite incredible, you know. Wigan are unbeaten against Rovers in the last 8 in the League and Cup. Their last defeat was way back in March 1988 up here on Humberside against Rovers. That ball, if it could have been picked up by Mick Coult, it was try time.
Just a little fingertip control. Oh, you can see the anguish on his face. He was ready to get into top gear.
Steve-O, a day where the Big League Championship has been blown wide apart.
Who would have thought it? Odds on, a side that knew they were virtually doomed to the second division. But they're hanging on. A win here will certainly lift their spirits.
Edwards gets the ball away. Bradford Northern will be watching this in the comfort of their homes tonight, having played on Friday. They have 48 hours extra to prepare for the big one at Odsal on Tuesday, and then it's all down to Central Park. Don't forget, with us on Sky, live and exclusive, next Friday at 7. Will it be the title decider? It could so easily be. Connolly to Clark. Heroics in defence again from Chris Charles. Hall fires the long pass to Cassidy, to Edwards, to Offiah. Offiah gets the ball inside to Farrell, who scores. Wigan are not dead, not yet.
For the first time, for a long time, Wigan have created the link. The long ball's out wide, 2 dummy runners, a beautiful long ball from Shaun Edwards. The inside pass, and the big fella Farrell reaches out. Was it a forward pass? No, it seemed as though it was going to go back for him. He dragged it forward. Either way, it's a 4-pointer. But as time run out on this Wigan side.
Farrell with the 4, and now he's trying to make it 6, but in this scale and from that angle, it's very, very difficult. Gives it a chance. He's kicked it. That's a great kick from Farrell. 21-10. 11 points the gap. Will that 1-pointer be the difference?
This is the reason why it's the first time that they've sent the ball out wide. Edwards uses the 2 dummy runners. A fire running out wide, back on the inside. The big second row of Farrell gleefully stretches out the score. The seconds are ticking away. Can they do it? Can they get back?
Well, Farrell has thrown them a lifeline. 21-10 on our watch. About 5 minutes, no more, plus stoppages. Phil Clark leaves the field limping also. And Wigan have got no more substitutes, so they're playing out the remainder of this match with 12 men. Because Aitchison's got the knee ligament damage. Wright has got the broken leg suspected. And Clark now has got a problem. 12 men for the champions, trailing by 21 points to 10. Connolly drops it. Rovers have it back.
Bad mistake by Connolly, trying to keep the ball alive. Realising that they have to gamble with it. See how he comes back inside. Perhaps a hand from Adam Charlesworth, who knows? Heavy traffic indeed. And surely Rovers now will just play safety first again. Use the big forwards, bundle through. No silly passes. Wigan, of course, when they get possession, they'll have to take the gamble.
And the challenge from Connolly then was so tough on Craig Hardy that the substitute dropped the ball.
Shoulder to shoulder. Hardy a little bit stunned there. Well, he made up for it, didn't he? Connolly, oh, that's a bad one. The big second rower, Andrew Farrell.
He was stretching for it, wasn't he? He didn't have it under control at all, and Coulter fixed it up.
Not only that, the Rovers' defence was up so quickly. See how they applied the pressure. It was Charlesworth that was going through. Forced the error.
Glancy in possession for Rovers. Here's the substitute, Chris Charles. And Rovers have made another change. Rob Hutchinson is replaced by Paul Fletcher. Here's Wayne Jackson. Oh, he dropped that behind him. Well, I wouldn't have said that was a knock-on at all.
Certainly went backwards.
He lost possession, obviously, but as it came out of his grasp, he seemed to flick it back, didn't he?
No doubt in my mind, but we're not the referee. Jim Smith is. Well, will we see a flyer now from Martin O'Fire? Little chip over, perhaps. No fullback in position for Rovers.
They're charging into the tackle like their very lives depend on it, Rovers, and let's face it, their lives do depend on it. They had to win here against Wigan to have any chance at all of surviving in the First Division. Cowie. And Cowie screaming at the touch judge because they wouldn't let him get back to his feet. That was a mile forward from Edwards to Farrell.
Well, it was a nice idea, wasn't it? Coming the gridiron man. Quarterback Edwards. Didn't come off, but at least the man was trying.
And the frowning face really The picture told its own story.
It did, but once again you see this Hull KR defence was so quick up, creating problems. We're just shutting him down all the time, and that's what they've done this second half. Edwards has been running into brick walls all day, and the support play from Wigan has been non-existent.
We are entering now the last minute of this extraordinary match at New Craven Park. Wayne Jackson, one of the heroes of the hour for Rovers. Here's Craig Hardy. Wrapped up by Platt, finished off by Cowie. That's the 5th tackle for Rovers. Parker will surely just hammer the ball downfield now. Well, no, they're going to run it for a moment. And then Fletcher with the high kick in midfield, and he's the man who's after it. But the wind caught it, and it found touch. Well, he can have a wry smile on a day like this for a kick like that, because of that scoreline. 21-10. A famous victory is beckoning the Rovers now. And what will this do to Wigan's confidence and John Dorahy's championship ambitions?
Well, he was saying there'll be some happy players, the Bradford players in question, but tell you what, a few Leeds players might have a little smile on their faces after this.
Panapa, again, with nowhere to go. It has been a quite magnificent effort by Rovers. Hall to Edwards to Betts. Gets away from Charlesworth. Finds Robinson. But look at all the players that are queuing up to force Robinson inside and eventually bring him down. They really, if they've only would have played like this for the rest of the season, Hulkingston Rovers wouldn't be in the mess they're in.
Big word, that if. But full credit to Rovers today. Every single one of them deserves the pat on the back. Look at the swarm in defence. Seconds to go, and there it is.
Perhaps one of the most significant results of the season. A wry smile from John Dorahy, for so long a hero in this part of the world. But there's the modern-day hero, Wayne Parker. Player of the season. Not much of a season, it must be said, up here on Humberside. But this, one of the results of the season. Chamberlain's done his part. Barkworth with the 2 tries in the second half. Perhaps one with a slight doubt about legality. But at the end of the day, it's Rovers who deservedly take the applause from their supporters. And Wayne Jackson played as big a part as any in this magnificent win. That's the way it's ended then. Hulkingston Rovers 21, Wigan 10. And Barkworth with 2 tries. Chamberlain, Fletcher with the 4 goals, and Crane the drop goal. Wright, who's in hospital with a suspected broken leg tonight. Farrell, and Farrell kicked the 1 goal. Wayne, it's a big word, but if only you'd played like that all season.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you can always say that. We feel over the last couple of months we have played like that most games, and where it's 80 minutes rugby, and we've maybe managed it for at least 60-75% of the game, and most of the time, like these days, you've got to do it for 80, and that's where we're at the bottom. I mean, we don't deserve to be. Obviously, we showed it today, and I think a lot of other clubs know that when we played against them.
John, you're a hero in this part of the world, but today I fancy that you would have preferred a different result.
Oh, definitely so, Eddie. I thought that our performance today was something to be desired for other sides, not for us. So I thought it was pretty ordinary.
Can you put your finger on where it's all gone wrong?
Well, I guess basically, Rovers had their backs against the wall. They're in a survival situation, and congratulations to George and the guys that they came up with the goods. We stopped playing after the first try, and that's the bottom line.
You said to me last night that you had a championship to be won. There was no time today for favours, even though this club's got a bit of affection in your heart. Yeah,
definitely. I would like to have come here and done a job of them so that we were more secure in the hope of playing, Bradford twice before we finish off the last 2 games. But unfortunately, today wasn't to be the day that we liked, and, all credit due to Rovers. I thought they tackled very well. To play with the win in the first half, I thought